Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu. Pakhair ragale. Ni hao. Chunashumme. Washmale. Ohio gozaimas. Guten Morgen. Hola. Bonjour. Previous. Kaifahal. And a very amazing Khosh Amadi to everybody who's tuned into PT1 and are watching World this morning alongside the very pretty, the very intelligent, the very amazing, very mesmerizing, the very fantabulous, and the very awesome Maha
Yeah.
Makhdoom and Shazad Khan. Hello, Maha. How are you today?
Hello, Shazad. Assalamu alaikum. I was going to say, I was like, say my name
Walaikum
already so I
assalam.
can say hello. But welcome, everyone. And how was your weekend, Shazad? How are you?
Oh my God! And well, my weekend
It's
was
always a story.
yeah,
Though.
my weekend was a roller coaster ride because I don't think that in the last month I've actually taken a weekend off, so I actually had to go to Multan,
Okay.
and it was stupid of me that I left for Multan on Saturday. That's when we could decide that okay, we should go. So we left at somewhere around 6 p.m.
Okay.
and we reached Multan at 3 p.m. at night, and then we woke up the next morning and left at like what? Well, yesterday I
3
left.
a.m. at night, you
Yeah,
mean?
and yesterday we left at 8 p.m.
Okay.
and I reached at 6 a.m. in the morning, so I just could catch
Oh,
like
so
2 hours of
oh,
sleep.
wow.
But
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, it was great. The journey was great because whatever we went for, and we did it,
Okay,
and that's
excellent.
it. That's what matters.
Wonderful. And so that seems like a very adventurous weekend.
Oh,
My weekend
yeah.
was okay. Thank you for asking.
Well, it's perfectly all right, but still, how was it?
It was fine. It was I had some work to do, but it was a bit more relaxed. I wasn't feeling very well today, so I was it was more to do with family time and
Yeah.
kind of just getting stuff
But I think I've
prepared.
got a few weather updates from different cities as well.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is very hot in Multan in the daytime. And in the nighttime, we actually had to turn on the air conditioners too as well because it was that hot. In Lahore, you can wear a t-shirt easily, but as soon as we left for Islamabad, halfway through, I could realize that, t-shirt wasn't really a good idea. And then on my way back, accidentally, you have these logos and marks within your t-shirts,
Yeah.
and they bug you at
Yeah,
times, and
yeah,
it gets
yeah.
itchy. So I tried pulling it off, and I ripped my t-shirt
Oh,
too. So
wonderful.
there was this big hole, and it was cold.
Okay, well, do stay warm. And right now it is a bit windy out there, and the weather is being a bit temperamental. So
Yeah.
do be careful.
It feels like Chicago over here in
Yeah,
Islamabad today.
well, okay. But with that, we have a lot of stuff to share with you today. Let's go take a look at the top stories, and we'll start our show.
Good morning. A local society in Sheikhupura held a parrot beauty contest at historic Mughal era complex here in Minar to welcome the spring season. A large number of people hailing from different cities of Punjab showcased their parrots in the contest. Wow, beautiful. Look at that one. It's fine. Look at them.
And Islamabad United thrashed Karachi Kings by 8 wickets in playoff and qualify for the final of Pakistan Super League 2018 in Karachi.
Yeah, and at this point of time, I've even got a few remarks to share with all those people who always thought that people from Islamabad are burgers. Well, how was that burger? Yeah,
Okay. I think that's an inside joke for the locals.
yeah. So we actually made a patty out of.
Okay,
Yeah.
you did well.
I feel great,
No,
even though
well
I
done.
haven't been watching the matches. But
No, but it's
when
great.
it comes down to Islamabad, I think it feels
Absolutely.
great.
No, and it's great that we have a sport and people are getting united and getting behind, and it's something for the whole community and the country to support. So now
Exactly.
we have a wonderful show lined up for you. As you know, we enjoy art, we enjoy culture, we enjoy music, and every aspect of the different entertainment or visual entertainment or visual kind of pleasures of life we try to share with you. Within Pakistan, we have wonderful artists. We've had new ones recently. Last week, we did a show with multiple artists. Very talented people. But there are people who have gone, beyond a certain level, and
Yeah.
who have reached masses of people internationally.
Exactly, and talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, in the past few days or in the past few weeks, we at Well This Morning have actually tried to share all of those different exhibitions happening all over the place. Now, certainly these exhibitions are to put the word out as well that we are even progressing in the field of arts, culture, or
Absolutely.
you know, however we may want to put it. But other than that, there are artists, there are people within different eras who have actually made a mark, who have you know, left us speechless with the pieces they have created too as well. And it's about time that we start celebrating them
Absolutely.
and we share their work with the entire world. And this is what they have been doing, because this legend who's actually over here within the studio with us, so he makes a piece and then he makes another piece of it to keep a copy of it, and then you know, they travel to some other country and then they come back. So
But,
yeah,
but that's the thing, everyone has their own ways and techniques. And also, the thing is, the person that we've been joined by, we have done multiple interviews with him before, and we're very lucky to have him back. And with, you know, with his counterpart as well today. But the thing is, they said they made the path for other people to go down as well. And these are people who are actually making a difference, who have actually kind of affected the way people view and appreciate culture within our country as well. So
yeah, and before we do our introduction, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate him and to celebrate his work,
Yes.
one of his counterparts, or you know, I think this is how
I
I'm
want to
going
give it away. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of another word.
I think we need to do that. Actually, wrote a book about him, and it is essential to write things about people so that we increase the shelf life of the work which has been produced in the previous eras.
Okay, yes, and before we do introduce him finally, also that's one very important point Shazad made, that, you know, recently I also did some research and trying to get some official quotes and things. The lack of official words from, you know, and biographies and information of our legends, of our historical figures, is absolutely atrocious. You know, it's something that we should be taking pride in, because once these generations are gone, once these people are gone, that information and that knowledge is gone with them. So it's very important that we make sure that we have official, you know, information and historical facts about these people.
Exactly. So on the 5th of April, ladies and gentlemen, this is something which you need to remember and mark your calendars too as well. Pakistan National Council of Arts is actually inviting you to come at the book launch and the exhibition titled Rahi. And with us, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by the legendary Cubist artist, Mr. Mansoor Rahi. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam, bete.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. I'm very much glad that you are here today. I'm seeing you after a long time.
Thank you very much, sir.
And my book is going to be launched.
Yes.
Yeah, that is many exciting event in my life.
Yes,
whole
and we're
life.
going to talk about all of that. Besides Mr. Mansoor Rahi, we've been joined by Mr. Danish Rahi, who is his son as well. He's a design strategist and thinker. He's the author of Parkish Identity, which we did a show on, and also is now the author of Rahi, the Cubist legend of Asia. Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for being here today. It's a very important day. So Shazad,
Yeah.
I'm going to let you start the first
So I'm going to
question.
get started because, you know, I'm a son too, and I look up to my father, and I always wanted to write a book because he's one of the very amazing bankers which I've, you know, come to know. So how, as a son, you feel writing a book about your own father, and did you actually give away all of those harsh days which you had to go through because, you know, your father wasn't really talking to you because you did something wrong?
It's always, you know, comes with the package, you know. It's hard to, you know, not to think about that. But, you know, I had a strategic advantage, you know, growing with the legend, you know. So I kind of knew a lot of stuff on day-to-day basis, kind of understanding how he thinks, how he acts and reacts to situations, and how his work kind of evolved over the years, you know. So I've been part of, you know, the whole process, if you would. So that was sort of an advantage for me, but it was at the same time a challenge, you know, because once you're too close to something, you know, it's hard to have a different perspective. So we had to do different style of research, you know, we had to loop that in. I had a team working with me on the project. You know, we wanted to make sure it's an international standard project.
Wonderful.
And, you know, that's how we went about it.
Okay, we're going to get into the nitty gritty about the book. But sir, why did you feel that there now needs to be a book about your work?
Great, great. This is my own feelings, dear. That I've heard one saying, very important sayings, that man is mortal. People die. Even if he is alive as 100-year-old, yet he will die. But this book, this is my own feelings. this book has made me immortal.
Yeah.
Really. Of course, I will die from this world, but this book will remain and get the people learning and warming up about Mansoor Rahi for the long, long time to come.
Exactly.
That is my own feelings.
Okay.
This book has made me immortal. I will be alive for good.
Okay. Wonderful. That's a really wonderful way of putting it as
Very
well.
nice. But I want to move on to Danish over here. So when it was you who decided that I'm going to write the book, or you went up to your father and you asked him, okay, Dad, I'm about to write a book. What do you have to say about it? Or was he like very modest? Oh, there's no need for that. It's perfectly all right.
No, that's a great question. Actually, I always try to explain that I'm not a writer, and that's what I try to I was thinking to myself like, hey, I'm not a writer, okay? I never went to school for writing, but it came about. There have been attempts to write books on him before in the past, and there are other books. This is not the first book on him, but they were not successful. To the point where he would be like totally satisfied that okay, this is a holistic book that kind of captures everything, or pretty much everything that I've accomplished or went through. So there were attempts, and then we were we were on a drive. Actually, we were going to a resort, and I was driving, and we were talking about it, and he mentioned that if anyone can actually do it, I think it's you. I was like, really? Okay, so let me think about that, because now you have over half a century of a career, How do you even like start working on that,
Okay.
So that's how it kind of like started the whole project. And then, I've done creative projects before, I'm in the industry, so I kind of knew like what I'm looking at, as a whole. So we kind of like started strategizing and, started working on it from there.
Okay, so now within the context of writing the book, and also because of the personal relationship as well, getting that more objective side, or was that important to kind of capture it, or is this more of a, is this one to go down for the historical books as well, that people can use this as a source of reference, as something further down the line as well?
Exactly. So when you look at a project, from a design, from an intelligent design perspective, it must solve a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to start thinking like, okay, why are we doing this? What problem is it really going to solve at the end of the day? So number one, we need an actual academic data to kind of capture, the technical side of this legendary artist.
Absolutely.
So that's number one. And then secondly, history. Where is he actually coming from? How a legend was made. That's actually a name of one of the chapters.
Okay.
And then it was all about like researching. So yeah, we had to actually set specific milestones, make sure what problems are we going to solve, and where do we see ourselves at the end of the project.
Wonderful.
And this is what I wanted to ask you as well. So now, sir, did you go through the book personally?
Yeah,
Once it was okay.
in detail.
All right. So now when you went through the book, did you actually got a feeling that okay, we might have missed out on something?
Yes.
All right.
I have seen and I've gone through, and as way he has completed this project, it's unique.
Okay.
Because no any author can do it. Actually, he was saying that I am not a writer. Actually, to write a book, it needs acute, not writing talent, but it needs acute, very, very detailed research. Because this boy has seen me since he born.
Yeah.
He knows his father, Rahi, best.
Yeah.
And each of my habit, my days, everyday routine of life, as he has mentioned here, that I'm a yogist. I used to be a mountaineer. I used to be fond of nature and fond of mountain. I used to be a mountaineer. A lot of things that he ways, he has bring it out in such in excellent and serial way. And he
in a
has
sequence.
not made any kind of mistakes to make it in a serial way.
Wonderful.
No mistake. I have seen it from the beginning to end. I have gone through it. And I think any author, they do write a book by hearing interview of the artist. But he has not taken any kind of in that kind of interview. He has surveyed and researched all through his beginning of life and up till now. And he has completed it. Now, this next thing is this, very important. He is a very good photographer, composer, and he has edited the book in such a way. He has proved himself that he is a complex technician man. And not only an author. There's a lot of things it needs. One man project. He has completed it. I'm very, very excited.
No, exactly, and it's wonderful. Now, also, Shahzad's already mentioned, and it's one question before we go for a break. Being the son as well, how difficult or easy was it to write on your father? Because getting the information, having that also, having that respect and love for him as well, not making sure that the bias maybe stayed to a minimum.
Yes.
How was that process?
It's a good
Did
question.
you even
Yeah.
keep it neutral or not?
Yeah, you have to as a designer and being professionally trained to launch like mega brands, what you need to do is you need to detach and attach. You must have the capability to attach and detach yourself from the project as needed and have a 360 understanding of it. And then, this was lodged under Tagari, one of our companies under the Rahi Group conglomerate. And we have access to some of the best, of the best individuals and talents around the world.
Okay.
So what I did was, it's an international project, so I had some friends working with me in New York, Chicago, as you mentioned, was really cold. I'm coming from there right now, so it's like way below freezing right still.
Yeah.
So we have people there, and then even in Turkey, I have a friend helping me out. So we engaged individuals strategically. They reviewed it, so I kind of had good understanding and critique from these individuals to kind of make sure that I don't miss anything, and how does it sound to someone reading it for the first time.
Okay, wonderful.
Amazing. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is that we are actually going to tell you different techniques used within one art form or different art forms as well. So go ahead, take a look, and when you guys are going to come back, what I want to ask is whether this book depicts personal life of Mr. Mansoor Rahi or just his work. I think that's what we need to ask.
Welcome back, everyone. And those are different techniques within art. And now Shahzad had an important question that he wanted to ask, and we're just having a little peruse through the book as well.
So what I wanted to ask was that, when obviously obviously, when he was writing the book and he was doing all of the research. So, for example, if I am to write a book about my father, I'll probably go around asking my mother and my sisters and my cousins that, how have you found him in his personal life? And this is where I wanted to get started with. So, this book is about his personal life, his struggles, and his work too, as well. Or it's just about his work. And then, how did you do your research? Did you ask your siblings and his wife?
Sure, yeah. We went through a lot of candid discussions,
Yeah.
but mainly when we started work on the project, he showed me a closet, in one of his galleries, and the closet was full of slides. There used to be those slides like that you put on projectors, and that
Yes.
technology is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even in use anymore.
That light one of the
Exactly,
Oh,
those were light
that's good times.
projectors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there were like a couple of thousand slides and a couple of thousand photographs, and then there are thousands of paintings, obviously. So he was like, here you go, here's everything. So
Yeah.
let's make sense out of that. So I went through a lot of hundreds and hundreds of slides and images, and a lot of images were selected, initially, and then we had to go in and research on every single image because we wanted to, make sure where was this picture taken, in what year,
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's
and so on.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that. So we had, it is an authentic research-based project.
okay, wonderful.
Yeah,
And
so-
also, I
so-
wanted to ask.
Yeah, well, one thing which connects to that is, where did you got that projector from again? Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask.
Yeah. So there is something called a light box.
Yeah.
So I was using the light box to see the slides, and there's something called a loop that we designers use, so we can kind of enlarge it, and see exactly what that photograph or slide is.
Yep.
And whichever slides were selected were converted, they were digitized, and then there was a long process of color correction.
Wow.
And image correction.
Okay.
So it's a whole long process.
Okay, and I'm glad you went first because my question would have taken me completely away from it. So now you've said all of this, there's a lot of detail and a lot of almost painstaking type work going on there. How long did it take you to compile everything? And so from when did it start to the completion? Now you guys are here waiting for the exhibition and the launch of everything.
Yeah, so it was, we started working on this in 2016, mid 2016, July.
okay.
Yeah, so not too far back.
No.
And then most of the time, I was working on this on evenings and weekends. In the daytime, I'm busy with my personal, other projects, So, yeah, and then, as we say, how do you eat an elephant?
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
No.
No, you shouldn't eat
No, but
elephants,
this is
guys.
not what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking over here is, then why did you actually tell us when you were here for the launch of your first book that you were actually working on the second book too?
Because it was a surprise.
Yeah, that's when it was kind of we were initiating the
Yeah. So
the
Shazad's
project.
question is, why didn't you share that information?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see, we take pride in sharing information firsthand.
Yeah, it's when we are looking at such mega projects like this, you don't really know how long it's really gonna take. You can only estimate timing, but you're never sure.
Okay, so now
Okay.
before we go through the contents of the book and ask you individually that what does what I wanted to ask was, what as a son are you trying to reap out of this book?
Okay, so my
I know it's a harsh one, but still.
no, it's a fair question. My initial goal and overall primary goal was to capture the entirety and the scope of the individual. You know, so it's not just paintings. But there are other sides of him. As he mentioned about yoga, and there's some hidden dimensions. And there's a chapter called The Hidden Dimensions of Rahi. So I've mentioned, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because I want people to read.
Yeah,
the book.
exactly. Don't
But-
give away the secrets.
But yeah, the goal was to kind of capture everything and have bring forward the other dimensions of him. So.
Okay, wonderful. And I think I think that's a lot of what people also, as the children, and when their parents have achieved something, they want
Yeah.
the world to know as well. And I think that's wonderful. But sir, I want to ask you, when obviously people know about your work, but the different elements of your character and personality. So the mystic healer, the fact that you have, you used to be into mountaineering. Why did you feel the need for people to know this? And why is it important?
This is part of life, I have gone through the many masters of Pakistani painter who died, like Saad Khan,
Yes.
Shakir Ali, in that way, Ahmed Parvez, lot of painters who died, who are not with us, yet they have left a lot of works. I have seen, by studying their life, very close life, they used to be very, very irregular in taking food and loss of health and lot of irregularity of life. They used to doing only painting, and I thought at that time this is not the real human.
Okay.
Okay, to be a painter is not bad. To be a painter, there are a lot of painters who died long ago in the west side, in my country, Indo-Pak subcontinent, in Bengal and India and in Pakistan. But many of them, I think majority, were out of discipline maintaining their life. They were a painter, only painter. I thought that I must be,
An example.
yes, be a complete man. And I do say myself, the complete man, a complete painter or a artist, any kind of art, maybe a singer, maybe a musician. He must have a good health, good behaved, and people say that just God has, I don't know when I will die. No, you must know. Your fate is in your hand. You are the own fate maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Allama Iqbal told the same thing. Make your fate yourself. Don't think that I'm very much dependent on what God has written. God is saying that I have made you Asraful Makhluqat, the best creations in the whole human, the creation in the world. You must use your brain. I have given you the best creations. Use your brain, make your fate, make your health, and make your life yourself. Yeah, know your khudi, yourself, know thyself is the best way to have your life successful.
Yeah, I totally get it. So, I mean, it's like, for example, if we are to apply it on us, it's not that 24/7 we need to be on television and just, not eat well, not.
I'm eating too
Or
well.
do not go out for any other healthy activity and be so dedicated with our passion that
Absolutely.
we forget our family. And he wanted to be a wholesome man, and that's what he did. And he gave us an example that you can have family, you can have sons who
but
can
the
actually
thing
write
is-
books about you.
Well, you can find
Yeah.
out how the journey was.
And this is why I'm going to go through the contents too, ladies and gentlemen, because I see there's a chapter which says the great battles of Rahi, and over here the first one is the war on hunger. Now, I mean, it's hard for me to believe that a legend like this might have to actually fight on such mellow levels too as well. But this is what a legend in the making is all about. So, can we talk about this a little as well? Sure. Because there's the battle to eradicate art literacy, and
Okay,
then the lone
well-
war artist from the heart of Asia.
Yeah, without giving everything away from the book itself, what are these, the different chapters within the book, Shazad?
Yeah, but
So-
then the mystical healer, periods of evolution, the mega objects by Rahi.
So no,
Wow.
so basically it's the whole completion. So what's your question? We're waiting
So
for
my
it.
question over here is that when a person is a legend in the making, he or she does not really know that where we're going to end up, because we are not born legends. It's our work and the way we practice is what makes us a legend. So while you are fighting those battles, may it be against hunger or art literacy or whatever,
You see,
what did you used to feel that, okay, where am I heading with this?
once one interviewer came to my studio.
So,
He asked, there was a big bomb blast in Islamabad somewhere, I don't know. The act of the terrorist. You were seated here, Mr. Mansoor. I have heard the interviewer saying,
Yes, sir.
I have heard that artists are very sensitive. You told once, I had my lecture once,
Yeah.
my brush works, and this very conscious brush, it works in every sequences of the human being, in society, in religious, in any kind of situations. Why you were quiet? You have no sense of that there was a big bomb blast, lot of people died in mosque. At that time, I thought that yes, my brush will work. You come to take my interview after few months, maybe 2-3 months.
Yeah.
I made the Black Terror, one series of painting.
Yes.
And the painting is still in my studio. The project is going on. After that, I thought, in the same kind of sentiment, second theme was human beast. You can see people from the outside is looking like Molbi, very religious. He is asking his disciple, oh, bete, this is a very big chance. Today is Jummah, today is Friday. There is Jummah prayer. Go to the mosque and just make a bomb blast, little bomb blast, and go direct to the heaven. This is the way. And he did it. But the first appearance is a big religious man. So this is the second theme has come. I'm working on it. Human beast. The upper side is looking like a human, very religious. But inside is a big beast, dangerous beast is hidden in it, hidden in it. So you should be aware. This is the painting is going on. So in that way you can say Rahi is not confined in technical research of evolution of the painting story, painting life, painting element. But beside, apart from this researching painting element to proceed on, I have this is the project to see for the human calamities, war against hunger, war against war, it's a fear of war, nightmare, and the black sun.
Yes.
There are a lot of people in this country, in the world, are blind. The sun is black for them. The black sun. There is a big cities. In that way, lot of projects are. Rahi is a mega.
Yeah. And this is what we're going to do, that we are going to actually share that how Mr. Mansoor Rahi strikes a stroke with his brush. And go ahead, take a look at all of these pieces we have collected. And sir, if you can tell us a little about all of these pieces which we are sharing, I think that will be great. And this was one thing which Mr. Mansoor actually told me, never ask an artist.
What does it mean?
Yeah, what
No,
does it
yeah.
mean? So this is not what I'm asking.
And the
I've
thing is
always
just-
learned it since then.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've asked multiple artists then, they
Yeah.
all tell you that.
Because, you know, we just wanted to know about the theme of the piece which
It's
we
a
showed.
wild cat.
Wildcat, okay.
A seated cat has an opening mouth.
And this one?
Can we zoom in a little? Because it's a bit
Yes,
hard. Yeah.
this is better.
I think it's...
No, this is out of that kind of sentiment. This is just a seated, this is called queen.
Queen, okay.
It's a queen, little bit romantic composition.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a wild bull. You must be afraid. The way of using brush and using the material of art are this very, very quick and spontaneous done.
Okay.
I call this intuitionism. This is the first
Wow.
day when I started making a study in Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is from the 1950s, and we had to research on. We were looking for his first work, first ever recorded work,
And this is
it? Was.
this is it.
This is it. Amazing.
So even for the very first time, you were using the cube technique.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this,
Even when you started studying, so it's all cubes. We can see that.
This light letterbox is hanging with the trees.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. How did it actually feel to come across this piece?
Oh,
And
look
then,
at that. So
what is this?
What is
This is
this?
an exhibition.
So he's spent many days in museums
Oh, okay.
and art galleries in Europe. So
I'm
this is
seated
one of
there.
the
Yes.
one of the pictures. This is actually in Picasso's museum.
Picasso's
wonderful.
museum.
Yeah.
I was
Just sitting there.
You're sitting down there,
Yep.
observing.
Yeah, Picasso was my mentor.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have his original pieces dating back to 1950.
50s, yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So, what was the last image that we were sharing?
So the last image was a robot that's actually painting.
okay.
So there was a, I took that, here you go. I took that picture myself at How Design Conference in Boston, Massachusetts. And there was a research done to understand arts if it comes from emotion or logic.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
so yes, and then they created this robot that can kind of think on its own and kind of make arts. you
Right.
know.
And then the machine's actually going to tell you whether the machine did it emotionally or
Or logic.
logically.
So that's for the humans to
AI?
decide,
Yeah.
you know, that. But it's a ongoing research that, you know, if can art be produced by robots? or not.
Okay, interesting. That's a very interesting question as well, and that's, I think that's another topic in itself. Okay, so now going forward, the exhibition is on the 5th.
It's actually on the 22nd.
Oh, sorry.
Of this month, so it's just like few days.
Okay.
Well,
after.
the invite you sent us says 5th of April, so we will stick to that.
No.
All right.
Okay, so it's on the
there's a bit of
22nd.
change, ladies and gentlemen.
22nd.
22nd at 5 o'clock. So that might. Be the
Okay, yeah, I
one
think we
picture.
mixed them around.
In the
But either
National
way,
Gallery.
yeah, by PNCA. So now, with this launch, with this book, what do you hope to now kind of achieve? I mean, we've talked about the personal research and the, kind of desires of what impact you hope to have, but what do you want it to achieve on the bigger, larger scale? I'll start with Dash, then I'll move on to Sir.
Yeah. So the first thing is to kind of get the word out. You know that the book is finally done and it's on the shelves now. It's in the market and the distribution have started. We are hoping and planning for a worldwide distribution.
Wonderful.
And it will go on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and it is already part of the U.S. Library of Congress, and
Wonderful.
the LCCN number is printed on the book if you need to search that. And then kind of enhance our distribution and achieve our marketing goals within the next fiscal year. So that's so this is just a starting point. The launch will be the starting point. We'll have few other launches as we move forward. Yeah.
Wonderful, excellent.
Very nice, and we wish you best of luck for the future endeavors too, as well, and for the launch of the book. And
Wait, yeah.
well, we'll definitely be there to share
yes.
the sentiment as well.
Okay, and so are you excited about the exhibition and the launch of the book? How are you feeling?
It's a very, I don't have any expressions, but I'm very much excited. So much excited that I lost my expression.
Okay.
One thing is this is I'm happy that once again, the same thing they're happening, the one interviewer asked me that you are born in Bengal, citizen of Pakistani, you call you Pakistan. Your exhibition goes off and on to outside of Pakistan country. What you say? You belong where? Are you Pakistani? Are you Bengali? Or what? At that time, my answer was, no, I am neither I am Bengali painter, nor I am Pakistani, I am painter of world. It was the answer. And the interviewer in Bangladesh TV,
Yeah.
he told afterwards, after the interview was over, he told me that I was going to be clapping, but so I was compared, so I could not. Well, he was very much excited hearing. And Danish has written over here, Cubist legend of Asia. I am very happy for this because Picasso, brought up in Spain, Malaga, near Madrid, but he was the painter of the world.
Yeah.
He was a cubist. And so when I heard this is the legend of Asia, I was very, very happy. Really. Don't say Pakistan is very small. The Mansoor Rahi, the school of thought, and they are known as cubists. You were talking the name of the very international school of thought, cubist.
Yep.
Cubism. This is the evolutionary chapter, very golden chapter of the world art history. This is the world art history, not history of Pakistani painter. I'm a painter of the world.
Amazing.
Asia is okay. In contest, Asia is okay.
Wonderful.
That is
Thank you
incredible.
so much. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. And, you know, that's very important that this is not just about, you know, restricting it or kind of associating it to one place. It is for everyone. And it's about unity. It's about tolerance. And it's about connecting those things that divide us. And there's no better way than through art and then through culture.
And this is what I want to say, that, you know, towards the end, we do even have a clip of, you know, there are people who are actually making paintings out of spray paints. So you can start from any point. And then you can have your own identity too as well. You know, there are certain videos on social media, and you can go and check that, you know, you can actually start whenever you want and from whatever
Absolutely.
point. But at this point of time, legendary actor, Muhammad Ali Saab, you know, he was a great film actor as well. It's his death anniversary, and we want to pay a rich tribute to him. So we have a song dedication for all of his fans out there. Go ahead, check it out.
He was a wonderful actor, and you know, as in Pakistan, we should be aware of all these things. But that was all we've got time for. I hope you guys have had a wonderful time, as much as we did. And the exhibition is on the 22nd at PNCA. Make sure you do check it out.
All right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know anything, please write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning.
on Twitter,
Well, this morning without the G.
on Daily Motion YouTube,
Well, this morning.
and the fabulous repeat's going to be at.
11:05 p.m. in the evening today.
Till the next time, 1, 2, 3,
Good morning.